some people make you swear. I've been through this before, but I've got lots of new people now. When I worked in Somerset for about 13 years for a haulage company, Cheddar, and Daft Hewie, simple, his brother David, I says, how's it, you're quite normal, Dave? And Hewie's a bit simple, he said, he's the afterbirth. Poor Hewie, he was a fucking idiot. He came up to me in the yard one day, he says, Arthur, I said, what? Do you think I look a cunt? He says, what kind of question is that, Hewie? If you push me for an answer, I will have to say yes. He wanted, we were on the bulk tippers carrying stone, coal, scrap metal, and he wanted to get on the large articulator vehicles like I was driving, and the boss said not putting him on, because when you tip them up, one big steel ram, you know, he said he'll tip the bloody lot of them, and Hewie was most upset. Then one day a driver didn't turn up for one of the big articulator vehicles, and the boss says, oh God, I'm in trouble now, I've got to get this stone down to a place near High Wycombe, and I was on it all week. I said, well, put Hewie on it. I'm not putting him on it. I said, listen, will you? I said, put Hewie on it and put him with me on the London run, and I'll make sure he's okay. If necessary, I'll tip the load for him, because you've got to make sure you stand on level ground, because when the body goes up in the air, if you start moving and it starts to sway, you know, the whole lot can go over, crash. I says, he'll be alright, and the boss weren't happy, but they put Hewie on it, and I stood at the side of him. I said, go on. He was shitting himself, in fact he wet his trousers. I says, you alright, go on, you're nice and level. I said, now put it in first gear, snatch forward. Oh no, dear. I said, go on, put it in first gear, either do it or get out and I'll do it. Just put it in gear and just snatch forward, you know. And of course the load went zoom. That was it. Oh, he says, oh, thank you, Arthur. And then next load, you know, he tipped it again a bit more confident, and by the end of the week he was okay. And I was his big hero. If it weren't for you, Arthur, I would never have achieved my life's ambition to drive the big heavies. And he used to put his arms around me in the yard. I said, get off. And the bloke says, he loves you, Arthur. I said, oh, fucking hell. And he was alright, you know. I mean, I know I've often been unkind to him, and he's still around. Oh yeah. He says he's coming up to see me. I said, don't bother, I don't want you here. And he says, because it's Somerset, you are very nice to I, are you? I said, Hewie, you know you don't take me seriously. But anyway, one morning, Monday morning, I sat in the cab writing the tacho card out, the tachograph card, got to be away all week, and Hewie came dashing up. He says, oh Arthur, I'm so glad I've seen you. I've had a terrible weekend. It's awful, I'm so upset. I said, why, what's the matter now? He says, well, if I tell you, promise me you won't tell anybody. I said, no, alright. He says, you've got to promise. I said, look, either tell me or fuck off. He says, I've got a problem. I says, you're one big fucking problem. He says, no, he says, it's down there. I said, oh my God. What do you mean down there? He says, I've got a big, horrible looking red spot. I says, no, I'm looking at it, it's on top of your shoulders, because you know I'm a sarcastic bastard by nature. He says, no, it's on my dick. I says, oh God. Don't ask me to look, or I'll drive off and fucking run straight over you. No, he says, do you think it's AIDS? I says, no. You know what AIDS stands for, don't you, Hewie? He says, what? I said, arse injected death sentence. He says, oh, not like that. I said, really? Different to what I've heard. I says, no, it's probably herpes. Oh my God, what's that? I said, your dick's going to drop off. And he went off crying. He says, what do you want to say? I says, come here. For Christ's sake, it's nothing. Probably because you don't wash yourself properly, dirty little bastard. Go and see the doctor, he'll give you some cream to put on it. And, oh God, I used to get back in the yard at weekends, because Andrew lived with me at that time down in Somerset, and I used to get back in the yard at the weekends, and the fitters in the garage used to say, "You're off, your lad's here." I said, "Andrew, what's he doing here?" "No, Hewie." Oh dear. And his mother ran riding, well, she runs riding stables near Western Supermare. Mrs. Lewis, he was Hewie Lewis, but his mother called him Hugh, of course. And he was adopted. Him and his brother David was adopted. And all our drivers went over a nice evening one summer, and we all sat round drinking cans of beer. Mr. Lewis was doing the burgers and everything. And David got two little boys, and I said to him, you know, how is it, you're quite alright? And he was a bit simple. He said, yeah, he's the afterbirth. And his mother spoke to me. I like Mrs. Lewis a lot. She says, Arthur, you're the only real friend that Hugh has got. She says, I know he's one of life's clowns, but she says, I worry about him. She says, would you look after him? I said, yeah, of course I will do. And after I returned to Nottingham, I went back down there, and Mrs. Lewis put me up for a weekend, you know, gave me a room, because it's a very large house they've got, gave me all the meals, and she wouldn't take a penny off me. And I was driving trucks then in Nottingham, and I got back home and sent her a huge bouquet of flowers through into Flora. And she phoned me, because the riding stables, all the girls, oh yeah, Hewie used to sniff around the girls. You! How many times have I told you? Of course, you know, he was always after the girls or after the women, but he never had much success. Big nose, no chin. Poor Hewie. But she phoned me, she says, oh, sir, thank you very, very much for the flowers. You didn't have to. I said, it's my pleasure, John. And I speak to her occasionally. Last time Hewie phoned me. Yeah, his mother wants a word with you. I said, oh, hello, Don, how are you keeping? You know, and all that. She says, we don't see you down here much now. I said, well, no. I says, I haven't got a car now. I do hire cars out occasionally, and usually I fly straight through Somerset on the way down to Cornwall. Oh, you must call in. She says, you're very welcome to stay with us. And she's a very nice lady, and she's got Hewie, who's a bit simple. Of course, high-pitched voice. On CB radio, when we used to pass each other, all the drivers used to say, hello, hello, Hewie. I said to him, leave him alone. Well, you dig at him. I said, yeah, well, I'm his best friend. I'm the only fucking friend he's got. Of course, he said, hello, Arthur, you alright? And of course, the drivers, as you can imagine, you know, hello, Hewie. On the CB with the mic, hello, Hewie. And he loved it. In fact, one day in the yard, he was being ignored, and I actually saw him throw himself into a large puddle of water just to get the attention, you know, and all the piss taking. He loved it because he was getting the attention he craved. And he's still around, you know. He is, as his mother said, he's one of life's clowns, and piss taking was awful. Yeah, I mean, I was extremely sarcastic towards him, I know, but, you know, in a way I'm quite fond of him, you know, because he's a little bit simple, yeah. Not everyone's 100%, are they? Right, that's it. China haven't come online yet. That's it, I'm going.